Hey, today, real quick, we have Songs of Innocence and Songs of Experience. It's a very, very short book, but it's full of poetry, so it's a book that you can continually revisit. And William Blake is slowly becoming one of my favorite poets. I think he's up there with Khalil Gibran right now as my favorite. And, at some point in this video, I will read a poem to give you a short introduction to him and hopefully inspire you to pick his works up. But he's someone that's very interesting because he's someone that never got a traditional education, but was so well versed with English that you can't talk about English literature, you can't talk about the English language and its great writers without talking about William Blake. And he's interestingly someone that inspired Neville Goddard, who's someone that I very much love myself. But the more I read from William Blake, the more I am like, wow, this is something that is particularly unique. This is something that's particularly super, super interesting. And this little book is something that it's probably going to inspire a lifetime worth of studying. And with that said, we will read a short poem so that hopefully you can as well get into William Blake. This one is called A Poison Tree. I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath. My wrath did end. I was angry with my foe. I told it not. My wrath did grow. And I watered it in fears, night and morning with my tears. And I sunned it with smiles, and with soft deceitful wiles. And it grew both day and night, till I bore an apple bright. And my foe beheld it shine, and he knew that it was mine. And in my garden stole, when the night had failed the pole. In the morning glad I see, my foe outstretched beneath the tree. I love this because it's such a simple poem, but at the same time it hits at so many different elements. And the thing about William Blake is he himself said that I'm a great poet, but I cannot come close to the poetry of the Bible. And the more you read this sort of stuff and the more you are inspired by this sort of stuff, you can revisit other works such as the Bible, such as the Gita, such as the Tao Te Ching, and see its brilliance. Because I think there's a lot of works that you can read and get the surface level understanding and stop there. But when you read stuff like this, it inspires you to go back to the ancient texts. It inspires you to go back to the things that we're all familiar with and see it from a new angle. And to me, that's some of the most inspirational stuff. And it's only through reading stuff like this, it's only through reading William Blake or Khalil Gibran or other poets that really allow me to parse through the traditional interpretations of the Bible and allow me to have a deeper sense of faith, allow me to have a deeper interpretation and a deeper understanding through my own lens. And for that, I'm eternally grateful, and for that, I will continue to read stuff like this. So this is a nice short thing that you can read. I'm sure you can get it all online for free, but I picked up this copy for a few dollars at a used bookstore. That should inspire you to go to used bookstores. I think they're some of the most fun and interesting resources that you can stumble upon, because I really don't think anything written in the past 20 years is worth reading. I think most books that have been written now are commercialized, homogenized. They don't have any sort of depth to them. They don't have any sort of expression to them. We're losing that creative edge. We're losing that artistic edge, and everything's starting to sound like each other. Everything is starting to fall into this side or this side, and it's boring. It really is. And it's only through reading the classics that we can begin to develop our own style, to begin to develop our own authentic voice. And William Blake is someone that's already inspired me so much, and hopefully as I continue to study begins to inspire me more and more. But with that said, when you get a chance, please read some of his poetry. Please look into some of his works, because they really are inspiring and they really are very interesting. And I see a lot of his works reflecting a lot of my own beliefs. So with that said, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Thank you guys so much.